allow the children to have the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego la wa mo la mo do. My ego diary, my ego number 1. Ayégun làwa mọ̀ làwọn tó jódodo. Ayégun diary na ibi number 1. Ayégun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Ayégun diary na ibi number 1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Ayégun diary na ibi number 1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Ayégun diary na ibi number 1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary na ibi number 1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún diary na ibi number 1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary na ibi number 1. Máyégún diary politico. Máyégún diary na ibi number 1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún diary na ibi number 1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún diary na ibi number 1. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó. Máyégún diary na ibi number 1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. bá gbé wúrẹ́. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù. Máyégún ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀ ṣọ́ra jù.
Today. Hello there, brethren. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. And thank you so much for joining me as usual after reading the caption of the broadcast. Read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them to join us. The Mayegun today, Mayegun is live. And if you have done that already, thank you. And to those that will still, that are yet to do theirs, please do. Right? So tonight, we are starting from the drama and all that happened at the National Assembly today, especially the Senate, where the APC, Egbekegbe, have managed to give you an impression that, oh, Tinubu just made this wonderful appointment of somebody who they believe, or they want you to believe, is probably capable of ending this jihadism, this Islamic terrorism. And their sponsor in that contraption, that person is the supposedly retired former Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. You know him. So he's been in the news, especially in the last 48 hours. In fact, the media, not just the media, including especially the online Ronukus, they have been all over the place, as if to say it wasn't the same guy in charge of the defense, commanding thousands of troops, including those he met severally in the, they call it the theater, where they are fighting the war. So it's like a new guy, rebranded and being made to possibly be your savior. Some people said Musa is the Tinubu's best appointment so far. Anyway, maybe Akpabiole and gang also believe same. So Musa was to be screened as the Minister of Defense or Defense Minister for Nigeria to replace Badaru, who was removed as part of the conditions that Ribadumb and others agreed to with America. But that's not the point. Would Musa be the solution, final solution, the lasting solution, the missing part of the puzzle of eradicating this Fulani terrorism, as well as the Islamic jihadism or terrorism in Nigeria, as they have become an industry, right? That's a big question. If you ask me, I want to be optimistic, but I can't, because I understand these guys to some extent until I am proven wrong, right? But Akpabiole said, when Musa was ushered into the Nigerian Senate, right, before the senators will be, as usual, asking some of the ridiculous questions, stupid questions that at the end of the day, there's no real closure, right? But it's drama. So when Musa arrived, some of their senators were asking that, he should just take a bow. Well, we've heard about him. He's done great things. He's blah, 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 blah. It's actually crazy when you watch the Nigerian lawmakers discuss important issues in their chamber. They are like me and you, right? The difference is that they get paid. We don't get paid. So they rant, because it's like National Assembly of Nigeria is like the rant headquarters of Nigeria. Here you get. They all come around and say all these jargons, nonsense, back and forth. But that was it. That's it. Nothing else happened after that. They presented themselves like they were just some form of, some rabble-rousers grouped together, making noise. Not like legislators who have legislative power, including, the power to actually, right, probe the supposed executive that they love to act as a rubber stamp anyway. But no, they don't pretend to have that power. However, today, it was the same Akpabiole that rose and said, hey, senators, we can't do that. The whole country is like in trouble, to be honest, right? Donald Trump is onto us. We can't let somebody that we believe should have an idea or solution. Listen, they believe that Musa is bringing one new idea. Can you get that Musa is going to be your Captain Holmes, the one with the idea of how to. So Akpabiole was like, we need to bring him on. I mean, we need to question him. He needs to say things. Nigerians want to hear his plan. Nothing new, by the way. And that's where we're going to start from this evening. Musa and the Nigeria senators, the first part of the drama. And well, he went on to say, he as the CDS, when he was a CDS, Chief of the Defense Staff, that he never sanctioned any form of negotiation with terrorists. He also lied. He's a liar too. And like I said, I am not optimistic. At the same time, I don't want to sound too pessimistic as well. All right. But what I'm telling you right now is true. It was under Bukwari they started Operation Safe Corridor. Tinubu came and he continued the Operation Safe Corridor, which allowed the Nigerian army plus some state governments, right, to collaborate together in rehabilitating repentant terrorists. Musa was a CDS. All of them knew about it. Rehabilitation of repentant terrorists. He sanctioned it. He never ended it. However, he condemned it at the National Assembly hearing. He said, you know what, but we'll get to that part. Let's go watch the drama part first. It's a long watch. All right. Yeah. So like the broadcast if you haven't already, share it as well if you haven't. And then sit back and watch this episode that first played out when Musa was ushered in. And in their typical hypocritical way, right? They wanted him to take a bow and go. You get what I mean? But Akpabiole, surprisingly, halted that to what later happened. Now watch this. First, the Akpabiole part.
President of the Senate and the general assent of the senators present. Then when you go to closure of debates, section 58, after a question has been proposed, which I want to propose, a senator rising in his place may claim to move that the question be now put. Sir, can I stop here just to expatiate? This is a chief of defense staff that had been in the system. He knew everything, and we are talking about security, and he's going to man a ministry that will be handling security matters for this country. Very sensitive. So I believe that we have had close sessions with him severally, and some of the questions that will be asked here and the responses may not be well dispensed at this moment. So I feel we should just allow this gentleman to take a bow and go. Not carry. There's not. This is it. There is nothing no here. There is nothing no here. We have asked him all these questions before at closed session. Do you want to ask here? Mr. President is to rule. Most of the questions are security questions. Most of the questions are security questions. People want to appear on TV. Order, please. It's not appearing on TV. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please.
Order, please. Order, please. Civil senators, resume your seats. Resume your seats, please. The civil senators, resume your seats, please. Resume your seats, please. The civil senators, resume your seats.
Go back to your seat.
Senator Meketi, resume your seat. Senator Meketi, resume your seat.
Off the camera. Please call the mother camera in the open. Let him go. It's not today.
Resume your seat, please. Ambassador President Senator Dino Brown.
Section 62. Senate standing orders. Senate standing orders 2023 as amended. Section 62. Open to section 62. Whenever the President of the Senate or the chairman, as in this case, of the Committee of the Whole, rises, yes, if you are a senator, you will know this. Whenever you are sworn in, we give you this. Not for you to go and give it to your children or to keep it in your closet, but for you to read and understand the procedures and the proceedings of the Nigerian Senate. Please, I don't mean to say something that will offend anybody, but I believe this is our own Quran. This is our own Bible. Unless you don't want to be a senator. Whenever the President of the Senate or the chairman rises during a debate, any senator then speaking clerk of the Senate, have you noticed that at that entrance there's a lot of noise? No, but there are people there. Sergeant at Arms, look at the people there now. Get their names down and we make sure that they are changed. Because they engage in too much discussion with senators and disturb us here. They are supposed to keep quiet and do their work while they allow the Senate to have decorum. Whenever the President of the Senate or the chairman rises during a debate, any senator then speaking or offering to speak shall sit down, and the Senate or the committee shall be silent so that the President of the Senate or the chairman of the Committee of the Whole may be heard without any interruption. I tactically stood up so that those who are old senators will understand why I'm on my feet. Those who are young in the Senate will not understand. So I'm on my feet. Senator Musa, Sani Musa, your point of order is noted. I did not say rejected, but noted. The reason I say so is that the man standing in front of us could be regarded as a solution to the current insecurity in the country. And we are not here on our own. We are here representing our constituents. And our constituents would like to hear from him whether his appointment will enable them to sleep well, whether their children will be safe in schools. So we are not asking him questions because we don't like him. We're asking him questions because our constituents would have loved to ask him questions. at a time like this. So if we come here and we do politics of bow and go, this is not a period we should say bow and go. Even Donald Trump is on our neck. We have not yet asked him what his response will be to Donald Trump, the President of America. He is not just anybody. Chief of Defense Staff, a nominee for a Minister of Defense of a country, and you stand up and say you should take a bow and go, with so many questions on the mouth of Nigerians, with over 200 Nigerian children in the bush, kidnapped and being tortured. His appointment is heralded all over Nigeria with happiness, because Nigerians believe he has something to offer. Give the man an opportunity to give Nigerians hope.
Surprise, surprise. Is that what they will say? Surprise, surprise. Akpabiole stood on business. He decided to stand up and say, you know what, I'm not going to sit down to say this. This is serious. Don't tell me that he should take a bow and go. Referring to the same social media they are so afraid of. That, oh, on social media, like Nigerians received his nomination with so much happiness. Right. He's coming to, he understands this security very well. He was there for 2 years, by the way, just in case if you need to be reminded. For over 2 years, actually, just so you know. However, we keep reminding you that it is not the changing of guard. In fact, it is not just a purchasing of weapons that will crush the terrorism. It is the political will. The political will that allows somebody like, well, the same lack of political will that didn't let him do his job when he had the uniform on as a soldier who was also sharing intel with other supposed service chiefs. And all of that intel, all of those things they put together for over 2 years with Tinubu has resulted into more death, more Nigerians killed, more Nigerians kidnapped, and more Nigerian school children taken into the bush by these terrorists. So what is he bringing on that? God damn it. What he couldn't do when he was a soldier that gave order is what they expected him to. What he couldn't do when he had the order is what they expected him to come and do now that he's going to be a politician that is always going to be talking. He's already kind of preparing himself. If you have been watching most of his videos, this Musa, if you have been watching most of his interview videos in the last 6-7 months, you will realize that he is no longer talking like a soldier. He's been talking like a politician, in case if you have not been paying attention. So when he was retired, there was this social media frenzy. Like they actually paid people. In case if you don't know, they paid people to trend the supposed disappointment of his, retirement, which in itself, right, probably gets to the ears of Tinubu and others. Now they want to bring him back, or they brought him back to now come and do what? Bring these new ideas and be able to show it to Tinubu more. What? Again, like I said, I would love to be optimistic, but I know these guys. I do not kind of want to get swayed by that. It's mostly talks. The most important thing is that genuinely, if you want to tackle the insecurity, you first go after the sponsor, many of them that are also in government. That's where you start from. But not to Musa. Somebody said, if we give you 6 months, what you couldn't do for 2 years, would you do it in 6 months? And if you don't do it, we should sack you. His own answers in this stretch. Please listen or watch this.
Should have asked, had been asked. But it's to say to you, based on where you're coming from, the commendations and accolades that you've gotten from my colleagues, is to say to you that I will be requesting the Senate to give you like what had not been done before. You will be approved, but in principle it will be probational. If within the first 6 months these sensitive questions are not brought to bear in the affirmative. Where is Brigadier General? Who authorized the withdrawal of soldiers 30 minutes before the operation that saw to the kidnapping of the Maga, 25 children in Maga, and etc., are not answered, or no progress is seen by the Senate, by extension the country, because the Senate is the country. We represent Nigerians here. If those are not taken care of within the first 6 months, this same Senate that members have applauded you, commended you, and will approve you, the same Senate will call on the president to send you packing, so that any other person that is saddled with the responsibility that you are saddled or will be saddled with, which quote and unquote will be within the sphere of security responsibilities, will sit up when and if such a person is saddled with the responsibility you are saddled with. To this, or with this, once more I congratulate you and I caution you to have, I don't know if you play polo, because you are not a polo player, I would have known, but for you, for an officer retired that has gotten to the level that you had gotten, eyes on the ball. Thank you.
Address them. So starting with the issues of General Uba, very unfortunate for a brigade commander to be captured and shown the way they did. It's really unfortunate and it's very painful. I want to assure Nigerians that we will not stand by and see terrorists have the capacity to do such. We're going to go after them fully, working together with all the security agencies and all the NDAs that I've said. We're going to investigate fully. So I know the Senate has established a committee to look into that. The armed forces also has a way, and then from the defense, we're going to make sure that we continue with the oversight over their activities. No indolence, no act of cowardice will be entertained. We're going to make sure that we follow them critically to see what they are doing, from the commanders down to the troops. They must be professional. I was wondering how the general himself was alone when he's supposed to have his own troops with him. So there are questions that need answering. And I can assure you, sir, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We'll find out what happened, who are those involved, including that one for the children at Maga. It is unfortunate that the troops will be there and then will leave and shortly something happened. It is unacceptable. And I can assure you, sir, we're going to investigate, and all those found culpable will face the law accordingly. And we'll make sure that we monitor all the activities of the armed forces and the security agencies, make sure that they remain very, very professional. Any information that comes will be treated adequately, and make sure that the troops also take action as quickly as possible. But I want to assure Nigerians that, sir, coming on board, having served 39 years all through my career in the armed forces, we have seen what is going on, we have understood what is going on, and we know what we need. All I'm appealing, sir, is that with your approval, once we come on stream, we're going to come back to you, sir, to show you exactly what we need for us to do better, for us to achieve success. We can win this war, but we must work together. We must get the support, because I can tell you, not calling members, there are still a lot of gaps within the armed forces that is also mitigating against them be able to achieve success fully into what we're doing. And like I said, we need the state governors, we need everyone to be on board for us to be able to achieve that. So my assurance is, from day one, we're going to monitor and review all our activities, all the operations that we're doing. Where we have done wrong, we're going to take measures to address them. Where things need to be done, we're going to, and then we're going to come back again, sir, because there are areas that we need your support. And like Senator Lawan mentioned, the issue of funding. Without proper funding, it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult. But I want to thank the Senate again, sir, for all the support, but to assure Nigerians and the Senate that we are going to spend everything that is required to ensure that there is peace in Nigeria. Our children are going to be secured and safe, but it's going to be that all of us are working together in ensuring that is achieved. Thank you very much. Kidnapping of school. With technology, working together with the armed forces, the police and other security agencies and the communities. I think that's where the gap has been. We will be able to address that properly and we'll be able to also secure these children and to stop issues of kidnapping all over the country. Distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawan, sir, thank you very much, sir. I think one basic area we're also going to look at is accountability of the armed forces. Whatever funds has been made, we want to make sure that the funds are properly utilized. And I think that is very critical so that we can make sure that whatever it is we're getting are things that will help us and assist us in the members of the armed forces in carrying out their action. Senator Mongonusa, on the issue of policy. Yes, sir, I've been operational all through my life. Now the issue of policy, and I think that's very important, sir. What we have observed over time is that with the MDAs, we have not really been able to get the full support of the MDAs. I think one mistake we make is we think the armed forces can solve all the problems. The armed forces solution is just 20-25%. Majority has to do with good governance, building capacity, working together with all the other MDAs. The police has a lot to contribute. Civil defense, all other agencies, including Foreign Service, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Interior. So we need to harmonize all this diplomatically again, our neighboring countries, Cameroon, Chad, Niger, Benin Republic. We need to also reach out to...
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt.
I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
I'm not a killjoy, but I can promise you this 100% that everything that guy is saying is pure bollock, bullshit, nonsense, just normal political talk, telling you what you want to hear. He's been there. He's plotted, I expected, right? He has plotted attacks, or should I say a pushback against these terrorists in the past or something. We've had soldiers killed under him. We've had soldiers kidnapped under him. We've had soldiers ambushed under him. Maybe not just him, others as well. But he was there. I can assure you that we are going to investigate. The position is correct. I mean, the position he left, they gave it to Oluyode, that big giant man, who is now your CDS. That one never said him since they killed the Brigadier General. No pim. It's been like, parading the asshole rock, taking pictures with Tinubu. This guy used to wear uniform. 2 months ago, he was wearing khaki. He was wearing khaki to go inside the asshole rock. The guy that dressed in kaftan to be your minister now, he was once wearing the full, the full regalia of military to stand in that same dock, in that same Senate, and he promised them when they wanted to confirm him as a CDS. He was in that same place. He promised them 3 years ago. He promised them that we will make sure we change the tactic, we involve technology, the blood. Go and play his videos. But Nigerians suffer from what is called the Stockholm syndrome. It's one hell of a crazy memory loss for Nigerians. Now, you don't go where Agbada, you don't go where Kaftan is now assuring, which I assure you that we are going to make sure. So tell me that I'm somebody who is a pessimist and you are optimistic, right? You're an optimist. So you may believe him. I don't believe him. I don't believe in jack nonsense that comes from his mouth. The whole performative show that you are watching there, if you are a regular viewer or follower of what's going on in that contraption, it won't move you. All of that is just for the next 72 hours. He is so excited. There is a politician. He's going to be a minister. Minister. Sure you get? He is super excited. Now he's promising the mumus who are going to end up in the hand of the kidnappers. He's telling them we are going to use technology. We are going to our border. We are going to nye. Before you go to all of that, if Musa want to be taken serious, by tomorrow morning, Musa should order the arrest of Akpabiole. Once you arrest Matawale, Bello Matawale, arrest for Food Kayode, arrest Bagudu, arrest Remi Tinubu, arrest who else do I have in mind? Begin the arrest like Gumi and the rest of. So by the time you arrest all of these people, you have your terrorist sponsor in Nigeria. Some of them will confess. Others will rat out some of their colleagues. You can go after the terrorists in the forest. Hold it later. Koko pick, you know, like they say. You pick all those ones that are the first culprit, the sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria. They are suspects. Pick them up. I've got names here in case if they need help. These names were released not long ago, by the way, right, by the UAE government. And it became obvious that most of the characters on this list, right, they are terrorist sponsors. These are not allegedly, these are confirmed terror sponsors in Nigeria. Listen to their names. And there are also BDC, Burundi Changes, owned by this Fulani, Hausa, Kanuri, all these terrorist sponsors in northern Nigeria. They have their shops in Lagos, offices in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Ibadan, in Kano, all these places. They are Burundi Change. They are for terrorists in Nigeria. If you have seen any of, I don't know if they are still operating, no, I'm not sure. Possibly they are, or they've changed names. When you hear the names of like Tukomamu, that one is in prison right now. They are charging him for collecting over, he collected nearly £1 billion in ransom for terrorists, on behalf of terrorists. He collected nearly £1 billion. He used to follow this guy, Sheikh Osama bin Gumi, all over the place to meet terrorists too. They were meeting terrorists. And they are using that as consultant for terrorists. So if they kidnap your family member, you call Gumi. Gumi will call Tukomamu. Tukomamu will bill you. Then the terrorists will say, pay Tuko. So you pay Tuko. Then you arrange on how to bring your children or your family relative back, right? Is number one. There are others. You have a Yusuf Ghazali. You have a Muhammad Sani. You have Abubakar Muhammad. You have Salamuddin Azan. You have Adamu Ishaq. You have Asana Oyiza Isa. You have Abdul Karim Musa. You have Umar Abdullahi. I don't know all of them, but Tinubu knows them. All your security agents in Nigeria knows them very well. Then you have the Burundi Change and some companies. You have there is one they call it West and East Africa General Trading Company Limited. Is a terrorist financial cell in Nigeria. You have another one called Settings Burundi Change Limited. Another one called G-Side General Enterprises. That one is in Kano and is also in Lagos. Desert Exchange Ventures Limited is mostly in Kaduna, Kano, and Lagos. You have Eagles Square General Trading Company Limited. That one is in Abuja, Kano, and Lagos. Alpha Exchange BDC. That one is in airport in Lagos, airports in Abuja, as well as Kano. These are terrorist cells. Companies' names, they have owners. So in case if they are looking for any tip, give us a tip of those you think they are terrorists. I just gave you some. The name has been published. So the names have been public all this while. Here you get. So this talk of we are going to use technology. No, pick up all these terrorist sponsors, all these cells first, and watch how the bloodline, or should I say the blood supply that the terrorists are getting, see how it's going to dry up, and they are going to die a natural death. So don't think that when we talk about the terrorists and their sponsor, we do not have some names in public already. So what are you doing with them? What are you doing with them? Musa?
That we first must love one another, understand that we're in this together, and believe that the challenges we're facing is a Nigerian challenge, not only for the armed forces or for the security forces, but it's for everyone working together. I want to assure you we're going to work united as we did when I was the Chief of Defense Staff. The important thing is for us to take the ownership of the challenges confronting our dear nation. These are things that we can't defeat. We can't win this war. But until we are deliberate about it, until the way we are determined, knowing that we are brothers and sisters, and God has a purpose in putting us here together. It's not to destroy ourselves, but to build ourselves up. And that's, for me, the most important aspect, that all Nigerians must put hands together to defeat the enemy. The Sahel is heating up. And you can see what they are doing to Mali. We will not want such situations to come to Nigeria. That's why our borders must be secured. Our security forces must be empowered, must be supported. And I want to thank you most especially, Mr. President, sir, for all the support given to me when I was the Chief of Defense Staff. It made a great difference. The National Assembly stood by us all through. Despite the challenges, we were able to move forward. And I can assure you that together, as a servant of this nation, we will continue to work together in ensuring that we secure our dear country. Nigeria is great. And we will never be ashamed, and nobody can intimidate us. That I know. Because we are one people, God's people, and will continue to foster, no matter what other ones are saying. Everybody in the world knows Nigeria is great, and it will continue to be great.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Times about nuisance. Otin sorry, politician already. Majority of them who are wearing khaki in Nigeria, pretending to be soldiers, they are politicians. In fact, when you go to that stage in Nigeria now, you should be getting ready that when you take off the jersey, when you take off the uniform, you can put on agbada, because you can even go on and be contest to become a state governor after your retirement from all the monies you have looted, stolen from we are fighting terrorism. These are a bunch of criminals. That's why, I don't know, there's something in me that wanted to give him a benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, like, no, stop it, Mayego. Benefit of the doubt, now here we go there. He's a politician now, and if you watched that and you are telling yourself that, yes, that's the man for the job, that's the solution for. Anyway, part of his solution is that we should build a wall all over the northern Nigeria, Sambisa and all of that places, Damboa, all these places, Monguno, all these big, huge forests. So Nigeria will need, just so you know, Nigeria is going to need at least, no joke, Nigeria is going to need at least 118, is it 18 or 128 billion dollars, you know, not naira, 100 and around there, 120 billion dollars for Nigeria to be able to build a fence that is going to cover nearly 1,000 kilometer like stretch, that is going to actually cover Nigeria from Benin to Burkina Faso to Niger to Cameroon, and then you can block the terrorists there so that they won't be coming into Nigeria. So is it 1,600? 1,600 kilometers. That's even like being conservative, like, so that it won't sound too ridiculous and exaggerated. But I Googled it. It said Nigeria will need at least $118 billion to build a wall in order to stop these approaching terrorists from coming into Nigeria. High right. So Musa believes that Papa Nigeria no get border for North. Do you understand? Like, you could easily just, you feel waka from Niger, Chad, Burkina Faso, all these places, you feel waka enter Nigeria from any angle. Nobody will hold you. Like, there is literally no border. There's no checkpoint or anything. Should you know that if you enter any country from any border town, you're going to see the border post. They're going to ask for your details, your identity, your travel document, and the rest of it. Even if you're from this West African country, right? Fair enough. You will still present an ID. No, you don't need an ID from that place, so from those places. So, but guess what? For you to pass through their country without any form of identification, they don't bond you well. It is only Nigeria that is the only country in the whole world that 70% of his own border entrance to his own country, 80% is borderless. It's just an open field, open land. But you're gonna need a wall. It is crazy. So the only thing that can save all of us, Musa and others, is that Musa should go back to the North Central Middle Belt and become the chief of defense staff for them in the Middle Belt and defend the Middle Beltons. Let the Fodios, the descendant of Fodios, who believes that the Nigeria is the estate, inherited by their own forefathers, as they have been told, right? So let them battle the Sharia knot where they can actually hold, because that's the only place that I believe Fodio possibly left for them. It didn't leave Yoruba land or any other land outside that Fodio land. So when you want to defend people who have brought so much destruction and disruption to Nigeria, I think it is better it is local and domesticated that way. Sure, you get, everybody go deal with their own problems from their own different part of Nigeria and let the Fodios deal with the Fodios in that side, because the mindset of the Fodios is quite evil and so strange. Do you understand? Every one of them who are the descendant of the Fodios and those who feels like them because of religion, like Shettima, who is a Kanuri man. It's not a Fulani, it's a Kanuri man. Kanuri are those ones behind Boko Haram. Kanuri people, Kanuri are the terrorists, the Boko Haram terrorists, by the way. And I'm not saying that all Kanuris are, sure you get, just so you know. Fulani terrorists are on this side. Boko Haram, ISWAP, and the rest of them, they are majorly Kanuris. And that is why Maiduguri, Borno State, where the Boko Haram have become so established, they didn't just become established. They had their mosque. They were in government in Borno State. The first leader of the Boko Haram that got killed, Mohammed Yusuf, was a youth leader in the government of Alimodu Sheriff in Borno State. He was a political appointee. The man that they said started Boko Haram, right? The guy was a youth appointee. I don't know if they made him commissioner or advisor, but they politically appointed him. And then when they were done with them, after using them for elections and every other thing there, right? They set the guy up. Then they killed him. They said he was trying to escape. How could somebody who you tied his hand, tied his legs at the back of your car, then shot at a close range, and you still uploaded a picture of him being shot, tied down? They tied him like this. They tied his hand and his leg. And police said he was trying to escape. That's why they shot and killed him. That's what got the Boko Haram started. Now, Shettima is a loyal Boko Haram sympathizer. Are you with me? So there was a picture he took that made it to the media where he was eating with people suspected to be terrorists or repentant terrorists. He didn't deny. He said most of these, especially Fulanis among them, most of them got the wrong side of the stick in Nigeria, and they have lost so much. So that's why they are killing people. In order to kind of like fix that, Shettima, defending that picture, Shettima said, I had to rehabilitate them. And at a point, when we build schools, build this and build that for them, I also hired some of these terrorists to become the security there. Today, out of 27 local governments in Borno State, only 3 local governments is functional. Yeah, you heard me right. 24 local government areas are now under the control of terrorists in Borno State. That Shettima is your vice president today. You can do all the math.
The jockey relationship between the Kanuris and the Fulanis. When Boko Haram moved to the Sambisa forest, they allowed the Fulanis to graze their livestock until wars trickled down to them that the Fulanis were revealing information on the movements of the Boko Haram to the Nigerian military. So they dropped them away, confiscated all their livestock. Very wealthy individuals became destitute overnight. Most of them became my guards. In the schools, the government was building across Borno State, because underneath the mayhem of Boko Haram, beneath the nihilism lies the real cause, which is extreme poverty. And education provides us the greatest tool of really addressing the root causes of insurgency and banditry. So we are crazily, massively building educational facilities, and most of these Fulanis were the Megas in those facilities. I took it upon myself to break the intergenerational transfer of poverty, to reach out to those Fulanis and enroll their kids to school. I was even giving them rice, beans, clothing items, just to convince them to entrust their kids to me so that I can take them to school. And I was not keen on mixing them with the local people because they are the poorest of the poor. I even built a school, a special school. All the classrooms were air conditioned, we were using digital education aids, we were feeding them 2 times per day. And we were bringing buses. Buses were conveying them from their homes to the school. Just to encourage the parents. Regularly, whenever I go on visits, I used to sit down with the parents, eat, chat, just to win their confidence. One of those pictures recently went viral. Shettima dining with bandits and Boko Haram in Maiduguri. But I have developed thick skin to such accusations, but none of the serious media houses took those stories. So the greatest threat to our democracy and our national survival is not the mainstream media. The anarchists in the social media are the greatest threat. I know they will come after me. That's the price of leadership. They are serious commentators and they are mischief mongers. Perhaps the most sacred duty of the media
Shettima Oshofoni. A terror sponsor, he knows what he's doing. If Nigeria was a real country, that guy would be in jail. He won't be your vice president, like your druggie. If Tinubu, he will be in jail. They don't kill them by now. They should have killed them by now. Because terrorism and drug dealing and what have you. No, they would have killed them by now if Nigeria was a real country. Shettima enabled the Boko Haram terrorists. Did you hear him when he said, when Boko Haram moved to Sambisa, they were still very much in good relationship with the Fulani. But later, they suspected that the Fulanis are giving information to the military. So they confiscated all their cows. So Shettima, now took them in. Here you go. Build schools for their children. Send their children to school. Turn them to Megad at his school, special schools he built. He didn't tell you that Kabiru Shokoto, the guy who was behind the is it Christmas Day bombing or Boxing Day bombing, Christmas Day bombing in Abuja. Remember, Kabiru Shokoto that killed nearly 200 people in that bomb blast. He was arrested, he was being charged, then he escaped. Guess where he was living? He was living inside the governor's lodge, the governor of Borno State's lodge in Abuja. He was there for 11 months. They were looking for him. He was driving this madman. He was driving the convoy, inside the convoy of the governor of Borno State, inside Abuja, where DSS were looking for him. He was inside Abuja for 11 straight months. When he was finally recaptured, he told them that he's been living inside the governor's lodge. So that's the madman that is saying that the social media always come for him. The reason why he was eating food with those Fulanis there was because they were victims of Boko Haram. And he wanted to make them believe that education is better, education is good. Today, the Fulani terrorists have now metamorphosed into what they are now calling bandits. But they are terrorists. Pure and simple terrorists. So Shettima, a terror enabler, knows what he did. He knows what he is doing. He should be arrested too. Where is that guy's name? Musa, if you are sure that you really want to be the solution to the insecurity, by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Shettima should be in handcuffs. But you know that's not going to happen. Nah, I know it's not going to happen. But here is one of them. Marafa is a senator. He's on the side of Trump.
By telling you that I share a different view from most Nigerians about these comments made by the United States. I strongly support the president of America, that is President Donald Trump, for issuing that I don't want to call it threat, but it is more like a threat. I differ with a lot of Nigerians because most Nigerians look at it from the perspective of patriotism, sovereignty of the country, which I agree with and I subscribe to. But of what importance is sovereignty or patriotism to a dead man? I come from Zamfara State, where you can rightly describe as the epicenter of these activities, where people are killed almost on a daily basis, and 99% of them Muslims. So the fact that there is no Muslim or Muslim country or Muslim president that can speak for the Muslims does not stop, a Christian president of a Christian country, from speaking of, for and for his people, that is the Christian community. I accept the fact that the Christians that are being killed in northern Nigeria are our brothers. They are fellow Nigerians. And if we can have them protected at least, I believe we are somewhere. As far as we are concerned, from Zamfara and from what we are seeing in northern Nigeria, especially northwest, now we are gradually surrendering to the bandits, where you see communities on their own, taking the lead to now initiate dialogue and the peace resolutions. Maybe you put it in quote because that is we are just surrendering to them, because you see the bandits coming to the venue, in camouflage uniform of army, police, heavily armed and everything, while our security agencies, were standing by the side doing nothing. Now let us go back to the issue. So, like I said, sovereignty is something, patriotism is something. I'm not discounting them, but they are only meaningful when you are alive, and when you have your by telling you that I share a different view from
sovereignty. Nigeria has no sovereignty. Come on. You see, sometimes a lot of you love to deceive yourselves, live in denial. You have terrorists who have now occupied almost half of your country. They have places called ungoverned areas where Nigeria military, Nigeria police, Nigeria government, they dare not even visit anymore in Nigeria. Yeah, they dare not. Nigerians in their millions have been displaced from all these places. Those who couldn't go anywhere, trapped within these spaces, right? They've been subjected to the rules of the terrorists. But they are paying taxes to terrorists inside Nigeria. So what sovereignty are you talking about? Nigeria is a sovereign country. America want to come out. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Sovereignty of what? The ones that you have seen the Janjaweed, the Fulani Janjaweed, the Boko Haram Janjaweed, like Prince Shettima will also call them. They are all Janjaweeds. Hunting Nigerians, speaking Nigerians like they are just sport or game. Here you get like they're just hunting them, kill the ones they will kill, and then kidnap the ones they will kidnap, rape them, and all of that. And all your politicians could do was just to try to make sure that you are not Islamophobic, you are not Fulaniphobic, like mad. So what sovereignty are you talking about? And I think that's why this Dane Bulaba, this mofo, was almost like tearing his shirt this morning when he was on this program on Arise. You probably have seen this, right? He's the spin doctor. He's been struggling to be a spin doctor for Tinubu by trying to change the narrative, by gaslighting people. He was at a point shouting that there was no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Then he went on and he said, oh, it was the IPOB that told America to designate Nigeria that they are killing Christians. Oh, then he went, they went on and on and on and on looking for what to stick. They said that it was Peter Obi. It was after Peter Obi visited America. That was after that the American indicted Nigeria. He's been jumping everywhere, trying to see what is going to stick. That's what happened at the channels this morning. Watch this. Disgraceful.
So this is the problem I have. You know, when we started, I am more about solution, about what we're doing. You know, when this whole crisis started,
mission, that madman, that mofo Bulaba, is also a Christian from Borno State, communities that have suffered so greatly, especially this Christian religious targeting that Boko Haram have actually targeted and killed people, like they did in Chibok, killed people because they are Christians. Communities ransacked. This way, they know they go back to a village anymore. Like it doesn't know. From London to Abuja, Abuja to Lagos, all of this sleeping inside hotels for free. So right now, is spending something.
So this is the problem I have. You know, when we started, I am more about solution, about what we're doing. You know, when this whole crisis started, the first time was about debunking the notion of Christian genocide, because we are about solution, people were about profiling. After we've debunked that, we say we are more about solution. My brother was the one that said, let me take you back. And by the time he took us back now, you people stayed at the back. You don't want to make...
I confronted you with the facts, Mr. Boy.
No, you didn't say any fact.
Your characterization of
that there's no Christian
is
genocide?
unfair.
No, we'll come. We'll let one after the other.
So because you're saying
I'm coming. We've already done that.
No, you cannot. You've not done. That's a lie. That's not true.
It's still a subject of debate.
No, we tried that one. Don't say that's a lie. That's very, very wrong. As a journalist, to look at your case and say that's a lie. You can say it is factually incorrect, but you can never say that's a lie.
Let me say what I want to say.
But do you know what you said is wrong?
No, it's not. I'm saying that there are people. No, just hold on. Hold on. Let me establish my point. You as a government is saying we don't have state-backed, because what is the American government saying? Christians have been killed and you're not doing anything about it. That's the argument. You say no, you're narrowing your profiling and your narrative to say this killing affects both Muslims and Christians. But there are Christian leaders who have doubled down on that position. So you can't dismiss that position and say you've dispelled it. It's a mixed bag of those genocide arguments, geopolitics, resource control, economic issue, criminality. So that's why I'm saying it is not true.
So that what you just said is also a lie, because let me tell you.
What's a lie?
That's what I want to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
What you just said is a lie because you gave a one-sided report of those who hold the position that it is a genocide. But you have failed to mention that Reuters, BBC, Sky News, CNN, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, I have mentioned their names, 6 of them, have done their fact check and came to the conclusion that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria.
I think you and I are mixing the points. That is their position. Listen,
the one you give, is it not the position of others? Is it not the position of others?
This is the lived-in reality of the people we've had on this show.
You're mixing. You are the one mixing. Somebody came and told you his position, right? And I gave you a counter position.
That is your position. I don't think
the one you gave, is it your own?
That is not the
one you told me, is it your own?
It's not my. I'm quoting what the people who have the lived-in experience to say. Listen, Mr. Barra, just a moment. The government or Washington Post, whatever, can characterize it the way they want, and is within their right to.
And the people you're quoting should not have characterized it. They should have said. Let me tell you the premise. Let me tell you, brother. I'm
just putting their position to you.
But let me tell you. Let me submit to you with the greatest respect why journalists are not helping in solving problem. Can you deny the fact that there are Muslims that are killed?
No, that's a fact.
Can you deny that there are people who have not identified as Christians or Muslims that are also killed?
That's a fact.
So when you have a fact that Christians are killed, Muslims are killed, those who have not identified with a religion are killed, will that qualify as a genocide?
Because the argument of the Christian people who are making this allegation is that it's been promoted by Islamic jihadists. I hope you get the distinction.
So the argument also of the individual I mentioned to you, who are in a position to know what is genocide or not, came to the conclusion that there is no Christian genocide, but there is a killing
There's
of
no exclusive preserve in terms of knowledge of what a genocide is. It's a common sense. It's not a common sense. It's not a number. It's not a
common sense. Sorry, my brother. It's not common sense.
It's not about. I think we mix this genocide argument because sometimes if we don't identify all the problem, we'll not address it correctly. If we deny the issue,
you know what you should have been saying.
Just hold on.
You should have been saying there are Christian communities who are complaining that they are being killed. I will not deny it. Government has not denied it. I'm coming and me to allow me to land. I allowed you. If you say there are pastors, communities that are complaining that their people are being killed, I'll be the last person to deny that. We accept that. When you say there is a Christian genocide, what is genocide?
Those are their words. I'm quoting to you.
So I'm talking.
Say
then the counter words.
Genocide. If you look at the UN Convention, Article 2 of that, it doesn't talk about scale. So even if it's 1 million, it talks about intent. Just you're a lawyer, so you're in a better position.
By who? By whom?
United Nations.
No, I'm saying intent by whom?
Intent by those who perpetrate what is considered to be genocide.
Okay, so let me tell you again. Has there been genocide of Muslims?
I wouldn't know that.
How would you give your bias in your mind?
No, I wouldn't know that
because I now tell as an intellectual, I'm telling you, as an intellectual, I'm telling you there is a fact.
Please hold on.
There is a fact. There is a fact, undeniable fact, that also states that there are also Muslims that are killed. You admit it. I told you there's a fact. I'm coming now.
My premise is that
hold on, Jeffrey.
The Christians are saying it is promoted by Islamic jihadists. That's the.
You don't know them. You don't know these guys. It's all deliberate. You see that characterization that they always argue about, and they are making it as the base of their own defense, is deliberate. They want you to see that when this number of Christians are killed by the jihadists who are shouting Allahu Akbar, by the way, right? The intent and their intention and the number of people killed, and those who are the victims, who knows that this is genocide. When you enter a community and you wipe them out, and so many of them ended up in the IDP camps and the rest of that, and you even grab some of them to forcefully convert them to Islam. You see all these happenings, all these records, right? You characterize it and classify it as a genocide against the Christians. So who are those killing Muslims too? These are also the jihadists. Now let us now clear that too is also genocide against the Muslims. How? You may say, hey, Muslims will now be doing genocide against Muslims. That's your naivety. In northern Nigeria, so you know, religion is politics. Don't let anybody deceive you with all this nonsense they are making you believe that northern Nigeria is Muslim. No, it's absolute rubbish. It is all politics. And that is why you see those ones who are in support of their Wahhabism, the terrorists. They believe that any other Islamic sect, put it this way. In Nigeria, especially in northern Nigeria, they have like about maybe 3 or 4 different Islamic sects. Like the same way you have this, your own different Christian sects. You have the Catholic, you have the CNS, you have the Pentecostals, you have all this, they do. Now, the difference here is this. You see these sects, the ones who are holding political power, they are mostly the Wahhabists. Those ones with the Saudi Arabians and the rest. There are some of them whose loyalty and their own type of Islam is only linked to Iran. Those ones are the Shiites. Maybe they call them Sufi. I've been a Salafist, don't mind me. These are different names they give themselves. And you know something? Most of their senior political office holders, military men, royal fathers and the rest of them, they are Wahhabists. Wahhabist means they are terrorists. And they frown at other people's sects. Just so you know that, when you hear say the terrorists kill Muslims, they are killing those ones they believe they are not Muslims enough, even though they are all in northern Nigeria. They will target them. They will target a preacher, a cleric that's condemning this act of terrorism. They will target him, target his church, and they will kill him and burn down his church and kill everybody there. So the terrorist sympathizer will now come to you and say, hey, they are also killing Muslims now. That is why you see that they are not enraged. They are not angry like the Christians are. You see the Christians that are being killed and making the most noise of it, pressuring everywhere all over the world. Ask yourselves, the people that are telling you that more Muslims have been killed, how come they were never enraged? Because those Muslims killed, they are just collateral damages. They don't give a damn about them. But in the case of arguments, to make it look like, oh yeah, don't blame government. You know, you're making it look like they're just killing Christians. They are killing Muslims. So I say, well, how come you are never angry that you're killing these Muslims? They've killed this number of Muslims. And Muslims, you Muslims in northern Nigeria, you are not mad? You're not angry? Why? Because those Muslims killed, they watched them kill them. And to them, they are not Muslim enough. That's why I feel sorry for those of you who are shouting Allah, Allah in the southern part of Nigeria. They will kill you first. When they finish with those they call the infidels, people like me, when they cut my head off, finish people like me, people will not get religion, those ones will be infidel, you will be next. That's when you realize that you mean no shit to them. And that's why they didn't raise alarm. They didn't raise much noise. When they watched all these communities, all these people who are Muslims, slaughtered by their Wahhabist terrorists. And they will use their position to cover them, protect them, cover them, and the rest of that, so that they can gaslight you and say, hey, you never said anything when they are killing Muslims. This is a Muslim telling you, who is not a Muslim, you are talking about Christian genocide. They are killing Christians. They are doing all of this to Christians. What kind of a thing is this? What kind of a country is this? We need to stand up and all of that. Then somebody who is Muslim will now say, yeah, is it just the Christians they are killing? How come you are not talking about the Muslims they killed? So I say, hey, how come you are not talking about them? Until I started talking about the Christians killed. You are a Muslim. How come you are not? You've never, ever, I've never seen you wrote anything online to condemn the killings of Muslims, but you are a Muslim. But right now, you have every word. You have all the words. To what? To describe the people that are calling the Christian genocide out as people who want to cause problems. They should be calling the Muslim genocide too. You have never spoken about the Muslim genocide. Ever. Because majority of you are closet terrorists. You are not so bold or confident enough to be cutting people's head off, shouting Allahu Akbar. You can't carry those guns and be shooting innocent people, women and children, in their sleep, in their homes. But somehow you enjoyed it because you are a terrorist sympathizer yourself, hiding behind that your religion. And we can see through all of you. I can see through so many of you, and that's what Bulaba was doing there. They're coming back to say Tinubu is making effort to kill
casualty of innocent citizens. Does that then justify negotiation with terrorists? Is the federal government negotiating with terrorists?
So this is a difficult question, I must tell you. There was a time federal government was negotiating. And I think that Rufai once talked about a national policy at that time when they said both state and federal government can be in a situation where they will have to negotiate, because if your duty is to preserve the life of people and citizens of Nigeria are in danger and negotiation is the only way to save them and you have to save them, then you have to do all that you need to do to save them at that time. But President Tinubu came with this zero tolerance on negotiation because it then fits into this terrorism financing. You see, you are constructively financing terrorism without knowing. So instead of elements who are sponsoring them, by giving them the money as ransom to collect the people, they also use the ransom money to buy more weapons. So the federal government does not, and it does not tolerate the idea of negotiation.
So what gave for the release of the Kebbi girls, and what is going to give for the release of the St. Mary's children?
There are lots of factors that can occasion that. One, you know that there are individuals that call themselves negotiators. When it comes to negotiation, it's not in all cases that money is involved. There are cases where the people might feel that if they don't release these people, there's going to be a bigger problem that they can manage. That can serve as incentive for them to release the people. Sometimes people they listen to, they could be these religious clerics or anybody they could listen to, can also be a factor. At other times, it can also be that federal government has sort of encircled them in terms of saying from the intelligence point of view, you at least have an idea of where they are, right? But you have a difficulty of going to bomb there because then you have soft people with them. But then you are giving them warning and they can decide to turn them over. At other times, on their own, they can choose to do that. I also have to admit that at sometimes, families of individuals that are kidnapped, they end up paying.
Nuisance, Lele.
Tinubu doesn't negotiate with terrorists, but there are some people who are negotiators that will look into some factors and, but not all this negotiation requires money. That is what this guy tells himself, or probably trained himself to be saying. Just keep repeating it. Somebody will believe it. Some people will believe it. Just keep saying it, repeating it. El Rufai has told us that Kaduna paid more than 10 billion naira in a space of 2 years to terrorists. Ubasani, the Ubanka guy, Banza, he denied it. El Rufai had also told us that Ribadom has been using his own office as well to ferry money to the terrorists in order to probably try to save face from the embarrassment that all their actions have been causing Tinubu's regime. It's not looking good. They invited El Rufai, but Ribadom told us yesterday that the children who were kidnapped from Papiri in Niger State, the Catholic school children, they were kidnapped. 315 of them, he said they were fine. Onofunuga, who is also a special advisor to Tinubu, once told us as well, this was last week, he said the terrorists were called and they were told to release the school children in Kebbi, release the Eruku church worshippers. They called them and they released them. So this mofo was on TV telling people that, yeah, we do negotiate, but not us like that. Contradicting himself in just a minute of breath. 60 seconds. Yeah. Here.
Fellow Nigerians, this is what is happening on the plateau. This is what is happening. You can see. Now I brought in the securities and the Fulanis are running away. Instead, they should stand and answer questions. This is my rice farm, and the Fulani just invaded the farm, ate everything on the farm. You can see, as you can see. You can see. This is this. These are over 300 cows. Now that they are seeing securities, they are moving their cows away. They are running away. They don't want to talk. You can see. Over 400 cows. Over 400 cows. This is what is happening. This is in Kasabarkin Ladi, local government of Plateau State. This is what is happening.
Barkin Ladi. That's where it is like every day for an average farmer in that contraption. And that is even the ones that gets the attention of the authority, you say, and they responded. But the Fulanis don't have anything to say to the authority. They are pretty much above them in their deeds. I have seen it, the records. So it's always going to be the farmers that pays the price. Indeed. And I think Enugu, who have been suffering from this same Fulani attack, Fulani terrorist, or Fulani terrorism, right? Their governor, I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday, decided to showcase their readiness, okay, to combat this insecurity. They got drones to help them capture the movements. And they also got some weapons for these guys. I don't know their name.
Governor Pitamba just equipped them now with better weapons that would dismantle any kind of kidnapping, any kind of kidnappers in Enugu State. The governor just launched some security drones, and now we're talking about better weapons. Look at machines.
Cease your fire! Cease your fire! Cease your fire!
I will tell you one thing today. If you hold this gun, somebody with the GPMG on ambush, you get him down. Once you hold this gun, family, the enemy starts in the front or side, left or right. If you not over, you carry Odechi, that person will go down. This is not, you not go school. Once we move, we move.
It's coming.
Enugu State Forest Guards. And this is what Governor Pitamba is doing, equipping them. In fact, look at the weapon they have. This weapon will displace any kind of weapon, I mean, in the bush. They are here. Look at Anekunke Pitamba Meleme. One Mekwozo. So
you know, they are called the forest guards. And prior to, like I said, he got them drones. They shared that yesterday. I think this was it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up ever. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So these are super security drones procured by Governor Pitamba. In fact, these drones have the capability to see everything, monitor everything happening in Enugu State and beyond. The drones can fly to other states in a matter of minutes and capture everything. This is the first time we'll be having such security drone in Nigeria, and Governor Pitamba is leading the pace. So wherever you see Governor Pitamba, thank him for the great security work he's doing in Enugu State in particular. Again, these are new losses for security in Enugu State. Governor Pitamba's been the best so far in terms of security. That is why Enugu State is the best secure and safest state in Nigeria.
Somebody said Ndiara, Ndioshi. Papa, you have to let them manage what they have, right? So the intention is to have the sky camera to capture the movement. Papa, any equipment you can get to. Sure, you get me now. If a terrorist comes into a community and you have 10 of those guys with those weapons, right? If the terrorists gets in and they get pushed back, knowing that these guys are armed as well, they won't have the same audacity of spending hours, chasing and killing people in their own communities. That won't happen. So you may look at that and laugh. This is not a laughing matter. And you may not be laughing for long. Here you go. So we just hope that all the intels that they gather with all of that is indeed, are indeed put to use. But it is Nigeria. It is mostly performative, just for show. Call them back in 3 months and say, hey, Enugu Forest Guard, how are you? How far? They begin to tell you, say, my brother, that's in a nonsense, Jerry. They don't even pay us. They are owing us a 6-month salary. They are doing this, and that. Well, I thought you guys were ready. We saw you on TV where you were like practicing about that one for sure, Jerry. But don't go back to your house. That will be sad. You get what I mean? Now let's leave this and stop by in Washington, because so you know that there are many other Nigerians, especially from the Middle Belt, Southern Kaduna and other places in America, who have been mounting pressure on the American Congress, American politicians, to help them do something and stop the killings in Nigeria. They were in Washington, D.C., I believe yesterday, to press home further, not just to sanction Nigeria and then place a visa ban on some people, they actually really need to get down and face the terrorists and clear them out proper. In front of the Washington, D.C. Capitol yesterday.
Immediate investigation, the highest level, with the consideration of declaring the Sokoto Caliphate an international terror organization. And treat it as such. Predator drones and Tomahawk missiles go a lot further at stopping this stuff than sanctions ever will. And that's what's warranted here. It is a genocidal regime. It is a terrorist organization.
Amen.
And finally, focus international efforts, focus attention on restoring the internally displaced. Justice and restoration. Again, this will prevent as many as 5-6 million from being radicalized in the next 5 years. It's existential. We must focus on the internally displaced. Not just as human beings, not just as Christians, but it's in our vital national interest to do so. And the restoration of IDPs to their rightful fatherlands, that will require the purging of the jihadis. But we don't do it to kill the jihadis, we do it to restore justice. We do it to restore the IDPs. That's necessary. Congressional delegation, charges of genocide against the Tinubu regime, declaring the caliphate a terrorist organization, and restoring the internally displaced. That's how you uproot this. That's how you fix it. Everything else is just window dressing.
England, and a graduate student presently at the University of Central Oklahoma. I'll be graduating by God's grace on December 12th, less than 2 weeks from now. I speak today as a survivor, as a witness to the slow motion genocide that has been unveiling before our eyes in Nigeria, especially in the past 12 years. I come from Yerwata, the epicenter of the massacre of June 13 and 14, 2025. I come from Benue State. That's the food basket of Nigeria, which unfortunately has turned to the graveyard of Nigeria. On June 13th, around 9 p.m. to June 14th, 1 a.m., the very peaceful nature of my community was shattered. It was raining on that June 13th. Our peace was shattered not by the thunder that accompanied the rain, but by the roar of the blasts from AK-47, AK-49, coming from Fulani jihadists who have been ravaging our land in the last 12 years. When they were coming on that day, we got notice of their coming. We got the intel. They stopped at a village called Giza in Nasarawa State, which was barely 12 kilometers away from our village, and had their prayers. They prayed to go and carry out a successful execution of our people.
Stop the killings, some follow me, and others will say, in Nigeria. Stop the killings 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 in Nigeria.
Release the bike for the sake of taking this brother to the hospital. So who is the brother and where is the hospital? No answer. Why will you release a government allocated bike to someone you never met? Because the
immediate investigation.
So they were there, and hours after that protest, the American Secretary of State, Rubio, is that his name? Mark Rubio, Abina Marco, I don't know, Rubio Shah, announced that they have placed a visa ban on some certain individuals. They didn't give us their names, so we never know They said these are the individuals who have been, confirmed to be terror sponsors, terror sympathizers, and those who have enabled religious persecution in northern Nigeria, right? But they didn't give us any name. And I think those people are just, if they ever go there to apply for their visa, you see all this visa ban self no make sense. Visa ban. There are those who are not really keen on going to America. They don't fancy America. So when America says I'm going to put a visa ban on you, they'll just be like, we won't go America before. We need your visa. I'm just saying, it should be something more severe, something more draconic, something more direct. Beyond just we are going to ban you from getting our visa. Visa only. Do you really think everybody wants American visa, or everybody really want to go to America? There are those who don't give a damn about America. But yet what they are doing, which has got the attention of America, requires something tougher than just would ban you, put visa ban on you. Visa ban, bao. Anyway, so they've announced that, and we are waiting for other announced sanctions against those who are the arrowhead and the sponsor of this insecurity in Nigeria. You need a break. Seriously, like you all need that break, at least to have something away from these terrorist news, the killings, the kidnappings, and all of that. So having that break simply means, to have that break means status quo must change. So to change the status quo, stop threatening them with visa ban. Do something more direct that could take away their breath, because then maybe they will begin to get you or take you serious. Visa ban. Nah. Right. Here is Onoche. You know Loretta, the lady that told us that Bokwari had conquered hunger, and she was showing us the rice pyramid, the Bokwari, the sawdust bag, the sandbags that they mounted all together in Abuja as a rice pyramid. Now he's back onto Atifu's campaign trail, this time to help save you from Tinubu, the one that promised to continue from where Bokwari stopped. And he had continued from where Bokwari stopped. But to Onoche,
indeed, for me, it means everything, because there is a need for Nigerians to recover their nation from incompetent leadership, from corrupt leadership. Consequently, we have all moved into the ADC. Like you rightly said, it's a movement aimed at restoring democratic rule in our nation. And it means everything, because under a democracy, everyone is equal, everyone has the same freedom of speech that the leaders have, there's equity, there is justice, there is rule of law. A nation where the president will blatantly, openly flout the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and remove a democratically elected governor of Rivers State, and Nigerians just ignore it and just did nothing. I mean, that's an abnormality. He spat on our Constitution. That's what we are all clamoring for now. A government, a party that will lead us to the rule of law, where everyone is equal, where everyone will respect the rule of law and the Constitution that governs our nation. So, from today, it is ADC. The coalition partners in Delta State have joined the ADC. We are joining hands together to see that we rescue not just our nation, but our state, our local government, and our wards from the decay that has permeated our nation from top to bottom. After today, there will be more consultations because here in Delta State, we have people, you can see for yourself, people coming from PDP, people coming from APC, those coming from Labour Party, Obedient, all the other partners, they are all coming together in one house. So from today on, we will begin to plan the unveiling at the national. That is the next step. And once that is done, we will be ready for Congress. And then after the Congress, we'll have our national primaries where our candidates will be elected to contest for the presidential election. And happily, all our leaders who want to run for this premier position in Nigeria, they have all said that it will be open, free, fair, and credible process where everyone involved.
Do you know that she was a member of the NNPC, was the NNPC board? And she would have been INEC electoral commissioner, if not because people raised alarm and they had to remove her name. She is a very good example of what impunity means. But right now, she's out of favor. So they would need to come together and save all of you from Tinubu. They nominated this woman to go and be INEC commissioner. She would have been preparing for 2027 right now, like Werewike's cousin, who is in charge of Edo State. You know, INEC commissioner for Edo State, now Wike's cousin, right? This Onoche would have been INEC commissioner today in one state somewhere. And if she would probably be working for APC, for Tinubu. But of course, once they're out of space, out of favor, then they want to rescue you and I from this, their own strange fellows, right? Omoyele Sowore was in court again today. It was yesterday. Today was again, this time it's the police IG, illegal IG that, took him to court. So they are charging Sowore for cyberbullying and, what's that again? No, that he bullied the Igbetokun and then he defamed him. Remember that case? While they were waiting for the judge to come out and they could listen to this hearing of the case, Sowore caught the supposed Igbetokun's lawyer or prosecution. Do you call them prosecution counsel or prosecuting lawyer or something? I don't know. Maybe same. Who was having a chat with the court registrar to see how they could manage to revoke Omoyele Sowore's bail, the one they gave to him the last time. Remember, Sowore is like on about 5 or 6 bails right now, and I believe 2 or 3 of them are from the same Igbetokun. So well, they wanted to revoke his bail so that they could lock him up. Well, it seems the judge didn't agree. But while he was doing that, and Sowore was kind of countering it, right, behind the scene. But before I show you that, how many of you have seen this? Because I've heard that they have been releasing all these summer buses for Tinubu's second term. And that's why you're going to see those people, those pot-bellied criminals, the Ronukus who claim to be Yorubas, who met in Abuja, telling you that Tinubu is God sent. Now they have started sharing Tinubu's summer bus for second term. Have you seen it? Well, they've started coming, they've started arriving. And this time, it's not Tinubu that is going to be buying all those buses. So it's just to tell you that some of them have made so much money under this Tinubu that the only way to keep him in power is to show their unflinching support like this one in that same contraption. You see them? Yeah, it was after that they went on TV and said Tinubu is a godsend. He's going to do his second term. Anybody that challenges him is challenging God. It's typical, you know. It's typical. But let's go to Shore. This was captured inside the courtroom before the outside.
I'm not discussing the case. I don't know if you understand. I am asking her that now it's almost 11, 30 minutes.
She has even taken a position now. That then, if they want to come and withdraw, and for her position is hostile. She's part of the court. She has taken a hostile position. You are part of the court. You are part of the court.
She's a registrar. Registrar is
Madam, you are part of the court.
Define court.
We can argue with
What
you.
is court? What is court?
Let's argue it.
You know the case of McCarthy, from whence the principle that justice must not just be done, but it must be seen by everybody to be done. In that case, where that principle emanated from, it was a discussion that the party had with the registrar of court. And the Supreme Court of England said that even though the justices were not present, by the mere fact of the registrar of the court interfering with the fact of the case,
she's right. She's part of the court.
She's part of the court. When we talk about the constitution of the court, are you not part of the court? I'm a lawyer. Go and read the case of Sussex versus R. McCarthy. It's an English case. It is from that case that the principle that justice must not just be done, but must be seen by everybody to be done. As I am here now, there is no way that you have suggested that if they bring an application for my lord to recuse himself, that you should revoke, you will revoke the bill. That's a hostile disposition. That's a hostile disposition.
That is the procedure. That is the law. If like now, wait. Okay, please, I don't like us to be arguing over this. You see, as a lawyer, if there is something that you know this is the law, let us speak the law. Let us not be sentimental. So when it's my brother.
Your disposition, I respect your disposition. Let's not be sentimental.
And do you know what? When he even came,
I just said it on the
didn't you see us together? And when the witness came, I have to go and call
this. If anything, if there's any,
I'm trying to tell you something. Do you know that I was the one that met Rose here? I called Rose last night and I said, Rose, what is happening? She's under that certificate to but we intend to withdraw. It's not something that I should be announcing to the court. I told her that, look, Rose, do you think this is the best idea? She said she's going to meet the other councils who come to them. If I have any clandestine motive, I will go that far. I'm not a prosecutor. I'm a prosecutor. I don't know if you understand that. So if I will tell you what I do that, show where they have been fighting for police. How? For that alone, at least it should be in my group. You understand? But it's not in my person to say not to prosecute him when I'm before the court. I'm just doing my job as a prosecutor. I don't have anything, but as somebody that I'm asking, I have a flight by children. I'm not in Abuja now. I'm with Presidential Special Task Force. I have to go back. That's the reason why I stepped over. Ask her, please, will she please call? She now put call across to the room. And I was asking her for that. Now we are going on. I have my reference.
This incitement, shall be making comments to suggest that this incitement, does she not communicate with my lord? Is she not going into the inner chamber? She communicates with my lord, and so now she can take feedback from what she observed here to my lord. That's extra procedural. It's not proper. I mean, I don't even want. I'm not like I'm interested in any issue, but I heard you advising rules, and I have respect for you. And I say that you now, what you are doing now, does it not amount to misconduct?
Talking to Ruth?
No, not talking to Ruth. Not from your admonition to Ruth. I see you as somebody who is upright and trying to hold.
Okay, maybe you don't know me. I'm the kind of person that if there is a case and I know maybe there is something that the defendant is not doing, which will help the state, I will tell you. In this court, there was a defendant that we brought.
Even the position of the registrar is suggestive of the fact that it is proper for this court to recuse himself from this case.
Okay.
Because he shall be making statements.
Anyway, that exchanges went on for a while. Then Showore was called. The judge came in, Showore was called. And indeed, his bail was not revoked. There was not, I don't think there was even any move to have his bail revoked. And others said that maybe that was due to the early sort of like intervention of his own legal team, that it could have been a different thing. It won't be the first time. You know, Showore has been their customer for a while. And immediately they came out of the courtroom. Trust Showore. He's got this for us. Go.
Must go, Egbetoku must go. Nigerians are saying Egbetoku must go. Egbetoku must go. Egbetoku must go. Nigerians are saying Egbetoku must go. One more time. Egbetoku must go. Egbetoku must go. Nigerians are saying Egbetoku must go. Christmas version. Egbetoku must go. Egbetoku must go. Nigerians are saying Egbetoku must go. Thank you guys. We just want to showcase our musical talents. After all, we're not lazy like another man. We're not lazy youths. We're talented people in this country. And we came to court today for the Egbetoku must go case. The history of that case was that in January, I was invited by the police that they saw me filming some corrupt policemen on the way to the airport, and that I had violated the right of the police to operate freely. And when I got to the police office at the FID, it then turns out that it was more elaborate. They accused me of saying that the IG is illegal and asked me to defend it. I refused, of course, as usual, to write a statement. But I said, so the guy who was then the DIG of FID, I forgot his name now, he's retired. Yeah, at that time, yes. Galandashi. Yes, retired. Galandashi also was looking for 2 years extension. But that was what ended his career in the police force. Alongside others. That struggle led to the retirement of over 500 policemen who forged their age. We forced them out. And it was consequently upon that we decided to fight for the police force. Retired and serving police in what was referred to as the police protest. The first successful of its kind in Nigeria. And that's also had culminated now in a law that was passed yesterday at Nigerian Senate, removing the police from the contributory pension scheme. It's waiting for the signature of Emilokon, Bala Blue. So, but Egbetoku was our target, and still our target, because his tenure was illegally extended, and that has led to one of the most terrible police force leadership in this country today. So the insecurity you are seeing in Nigeria today is as a result of poor leadership of the police. The police primarily is in charge of internal security, not the army. But the army has now been reduced to even doing traffic work, protecting people at parties and serving rice, particularly jollof rice at parties. Yes, serving. But that is not the job of the army. So we still insist that Egbetoku must go. And there's another charge against me over that same issue. That's coming up next week. I think 8th of next month. But with regards to this case, this was a case that Egbetoku used, conniving with the judge to seize my international passport since January. They deposited my passport, and the judge, since then, never heard the case. He would say he's going to conference. So today, he was supposed to hear 2 applications. One was for him to release my passport, so that I could at least go to the US and spend the Christmas with my family. Because I've been here for a year. We go to the court, and our lawyer had another engagement. And we duly applied to the judge to stand the case down for 30 minutes. He did. When our lawyer arrived, he wouldn't come out of his chambers. And when he was told that we were waiting and was informed that we have lost confidence in him as the judge in charge handling the case, he threatened and sent a message through his registrar that if he comes out of his chambers
to come and hear the case, and we tell him that he should recuse himself, he will revoke my bail. And we said, yes, we are ready for that. I'm willing to spend Christmas in prison. After all, I have friends in all the prisons across the country, including in Sokoto, where Nnamdi Kanu is being held unjustly. But as you know, he's the president of that prison. So I won't be surprised if he's the national president of all the prisons in the country, because they have bestowed that honor unto him as the President General of all the prisoners. He's the most important prisoner in this country today, as it is. So then when we send the message back to the judge that we are willing to take whatever comes our way, he then sent another message that we should go and take a date, that he has a conference. So now this case will not be held until 26th of February. 26th. We'll do everything we can at this point. It's very clear that this is no longer any kind of court proceeding. It is just a strategy to keep my passports confiscated between the judge and Gwetokun, who is the illegal IGP of police. So that is the information as of today. Yesterday, the same thing was tried by a senior advocate of Nigeria, who was huffing and puffing in court that I should be remanded in prison for insulting the president. So all the cases I have regarding this cybercrime has to do with insulting people who are not doing their jobs. And as I told the judge yesterday, we can never stop debating policy. So, because these things affect our lives. As we are speaking to you today, there are nobody even knows the real numbers of children who are in captivity in Niger State, abducted from a secondary school hostel. There are women, men, young, old people who are in captivity, either kidnapped by official kidnappers or bandits, which is another brand of terrorists, or the terrorists themselves. And the ones that are kidnapped even by security agencies who are holding them illegally under the guise of helping people to collect rent or somebody.
Honestly, there are so many young people, old people that are currently languishing in different prisons across Nigeria. And it will be so shocking to realize that most of these detainees, they were detained on the order of some individuals who have political power. And they could leverage on that by using the military, the police, right, to arbitrarily arrest people. And they also have judges, some unscrupulous judges, criminal judges, who are willing to hand down all those ridiculous detention orders. And at the same time, use the same judiciary to delay what should have been, okay, if somebody is being detained and should be on trial and all that, they will delay it, frustrate it. And most of the time, the cases never reach its conclusion before they will end up like withdrawing the case. Because the intention is never about justice. It's never about somebody committing any crime known to law. It is the crime that they identified as a personal crime against them, cyberbullying. Politicians with all of that power are now using the colonial law. They changed it to cyberbullying just to lock anybody away in the name of national security. And ridiculously so, right? The police are filing or arresting people, detaining people, like putting people in prison on these trumped up charges. Against these people, right? On behalf of the supposed applicants, the people that got offended. Oh, you insulted the president. How dare you insult the president? You know what? You should be in prison so that other people can't insult the president. How dare you insult the senator? Why would you say something like that about the governor? Oh, you need to go to jail. Lock him up. That is the democracy you are practicing. And that's what Showore. And some will be like, why is like Showore still doing this? Well, you are not, we all have different callings, by the way. Sure you get. So sometimes it will look like, why are you wasting your time? Why are you doing this? go and stay with your family. Ignore these people. And I mean, they are not even willing to take your proposition that you should challenge these criminals, stand up to them, fight them, and all that. They are not. They will rather watch the supposed establishment, right, neutralize you, including if they have to kill you. They will praise them. Sometimes they will say, your own is too much. Why are you always like, is it just you? Are you the only one in this country? That's to tell you that those who enabled this madness, hoping that they will be spared, they are foolish though, because nobody is going to be spared. Nobody is spared in all of this. So yeah, Shure it's not actually seeing it like us, because I won't do it. And I bet some of you won't. But indeed, there will be those that would. And you need them. Because sometimes, right, you need them in the system to take you out of that, your own, docility, nonchalancy, and all of that, yeah? Sure. I would want him to finish, but our time is quite up now. But here is something from the Edo State. You've been hearing about Natasha and Two-Face face-off, right? That's a different story of love. It wouldn't have been our business, right? Until when the Edo State House of Assembly had to call out Natasha, accept that she is actually disgracing them. I don't know who is disgracing, who is actually like causing the Edo State embarrassment in this sense. So between Natasha and Akpabiole, the Dodoyo governor of Edo State, I don't know. But here, from the Edo State House of Assembly to Two-Face's wife, Natasha.
Of recent, this precious house with cerebral members and highly educated members has been dragged to the Lord for too long by our colleague, Honorable Natasha Rose. For the past 1 week, she has been, let me use the word, trending negative on social media and the televisions, both CBC, Channel, Silverbird, and other television stations. I want to let the public know that this house is a decent and reputable house. In Nigeria, as a whole, this house is the best house. That's the truth. That we have responsible members in this house, intelligent members in this house, members that know what they are doing. So the attitude or misconduct of the member cannot drag the house to disrepute. We frown against it and will not take it. On that note, Honorable Natasha Rosa should appear before the Ethics Committee, the Ethics and Public Committee, to let us know why she is dragging this house into the pond. She should appear within 1 week before the Ethics and Public Committee of this highly rated house.
So some people are already, especially the tweets on social media, they are already mobilizing, organizing that they should go and rescue Two-Face from Natasha. Meanwhile, Two-Face himself came out, earlier today, and he said, you people should leave Natasha alone. Natasha is, you are hurting her. Your reactions or your, couples have problems, but you shouldn't. All of you shouldn't make it your own problems, okay? Because everything you are writing about Natasha is making her feel bad. Love is crazy, isn't it? On that note, we would call it a night tonight. Thank you very much for your time. As usual, I am going to see you another time. Thank you. So like the broadcast if you haven't already, and share it as well. Enjoy the rest of your day and evening. And good night, brethren. Udaro.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun dayari dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gba rìbá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. ẹ̀ súra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.